It took untold generations to get you where you are. A little gratitude might be in order. If you're going to insist on bending the world to your way, you better have your reasons. In order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. Experience is the best teacher, and the worst experiences teach the best lessons. You might consider judging your success across all the games you play. Imagine you are very good at some, middling at others, and terrible at the remainder. Perhaps that's how it should be. You might object. I should be winning at everything, but winning at everything might only mean that you are not doing anything new or difficult. You might be winning, but you're not growing, and growing might be the most important form of winning. One of the problems with being relatively wealthy if you are a parent is that you cannot provide your children with necessity. It is necessary to be strong in the face of death, because death is intrinsic to life. It is for this reason that I tell my students, aim to be the person at your father's funeral that everyone in their grief and misery can rely on. There's a worthy and noble ambition, strength in the face of adversity. You should not overlook the guidelines of your culture. Life is short, and you don't have time to figure everything out on your own. The wisdom of the past was hard-earned, and your dead ancestors may have something useful to tell you. That which you most need to find will be found where you least wish to look. We are increasingly falling prey to the desperation of meaninglessness. We cannot navigate without something to aim at, and while we are in this world, we must always navigate. Humility. It is better to presume ignorance and invite learning than to assume sufficient knowledge and risk the consequent blindness. Much of happiness is hope, no matter how deep the underworld in which that hope was conceived. If your life is not what it could be, try telling the truth. If you cling desperately to an ideology or wallow in nihilism, try telling the truth. If you feel weak and rejected and desperate and confused, try telling the truth. In paradise, everyone speaks the truth. That is what makes a paradise. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. We require routine and tradition. That's order. Order can become excessive, and that's not good. But chaos can swamp us, so we drown, and that's also not good. We need to stay on the straight and narrow path. What you aim at determines what you see. The secret to your existence is right in front of you. It manifests itself as all those things you know you should do, but are avoiding. If you betray yourself, if you say untrue things, if you act out a lie, you weaken your character. Don't ever underestimate the destructive power of sins of omission. You are by no means only what you already know. You are also all that which you could know if you only would. Thus, you should never sacrifice what you could be for what you are. You should never give up on the better that resides within you for the security you already have, and certainly not when you have already caught a glimpse, an undeniable glimpse of something beyond. It's a luxury to pursue what makes you happy. It's a moral obligation to pursue what you find meaningful. People organize their brains with conversation. If they don't have anyone to tell their story to, they lose their minds. Like hoarders, they cannot unclutter themselves. Stop saying those things that make you weak and ashamed. Say only those things that make you strong. Do only those things that you could speak of with honor. You're going to pay a price for every bloody thing you do and everything you don't do. You don't get to choose to not pay a price. You get to choose which poison you're going to take. That's it. You can only find out what you actually believe, rather than what you think you believe, by watching how you act. You simply don't know what you believe before that. You are too complex to understand yourself. If you think tough men are dangerous, wait until you see what weak men are capable of. If you are not willing to be a fool, you cannot become a master. You must determine where you are going in your life because you cannot get there unless you move in that direction. Random wandering will not move you forward. It will instead disappoint and frustrate you and make you anxious and unhappy and hard to get along with, and then resentful, then vengeful, and then worse. Ideologies are substitutes for true knowledge, and ideologues are always dangerous when they come to power because a simple-minded, I-know-it-all approach is no match for the complexity of existence. It is my firm belief that the best way to fix the world, a handyman's dream, if ever there was one, is to fix yourself. There are many systems of interaction between brain, body, and social world that can get caught in positive feedback loops. Depressed people, for example, can start feeling useless and burdensome, as well as grief-stricken and pained. This makes them withdraw from contact with friends and family. Then the withdrawal makes them more lonesome and isolated, and more likely to feel useless and burdensome. Then they withdraw more. In this manner, depression spirals and amplifies. If you will not reveal yourself to others, you cannot reveal yourself to yourself. That does not only mean that you suppress who you are, although it also means that. It also means that so much of what you could be will never be forced by necessity to come forward. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Ask yourself what you would require to be motivated to undertake the job, honestly, and listen to the answer. Don't tell yourself, I shouldn't need to do that to motivate myself. What do you know about yourself? You are, on the one hand, the most complex thing in the entire universe. On the other, someone who can't even set the clock on your microwave. Don't overestimate your self-knowledge. Did what I want happen? No. Then my aim or my methods were wrong. I still have something to learn. That is the voice of authenticity. Did what I want happen? No. Then the world is unfair. People are jealous and too stupid to understand. It is the fault of something or someone else. That is the voice of inauthenticity. If a child has not been taught to behave properly by age 4, it will forever be difficult for him or her to make friends. You must be cautious because making your life better means adopting a lot of responsibility, and that takes more effort and care than living stupidly in pain and remaining arrogant, deceitful, and resentful. We must each adopt as much responsibility as possible for individual life, society, and the world. We must each tell the truth and repair what is in disrepair and break down and recreate what is old and outdated. It is in this manner that we can and must reduce the suffering that poisons the world. It's asking a lot. It's asking for everything. Dreams shed light on the dim places where reason itself has yet to voyage. Here's a straightforward initial idea. Rules should not be multiplied beyond necessity. Alternatively stated, bad laws drive out respect for good laws. This is the ethical, even legal equivalent to Occam's razor, the scientist's conceptual guillotine, which states that the simplest possible hypothesis is preferable. The better ambitions have to do with the development of character and ability rather than status and power. Status you can lose. You carry your character wherever you go, and it allows you to prevail against adversity. I don't think that you have any insight whatsoever into your capacity for good until you have some well-developed insight into your capacity for evil. We require rules, standards, values, alone and together. We're pack animals, beasts of burden. We must bear a load to justify our miserable existence. It isn't precisely that people will fight for what they believe. They will fight instead to maintain the match between what they believe, what they expect, and what they desire.